North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
When we look at the life of the citizens and the politicians are just growing up because we are making comparison of the life of the Nigerians and the politicians as they were. Wallahi, the gap between the average Nigerians and the politician is more than 1,000%. You get it now? Because when you look at it, the cost of running this government is so exorbitant. You understand? They get as much as they could get. And in the course of discharging their duty, you understand, they attach money to it again. Because when they are going to oversight functioning, as case may be, apart from the nation has make provision for them, where they are going to are still making another provision for them. You understand? How do you expect that person to see anything wrong, to come back and say, no, I have seen something that's wrong that need to be corrected? No, capital no. Because already he has been settled. You get it now? So they become richer and richer, and why every Nigerian is becoming poorer and poorer.
In some ways, the life of an average Nigerian has improved. But if you look at it from another angle, you might say the opposite. So to me, it's neither here or there. But basically, we can say there is progress. We have made progress. We have moved far away from where we were in 1960. The best leadership is not something, it's not an item, it's not an already made item on a shelf you buy and go. We need to develop it. I'm sure, we are moving. Even though it looks like we're not moving, there are certain things that will come in and we feel we're not moving, but certainly we are moving.
Right from the time 1999, when the democracy returned to Nigeria, we have not been able to give average Nigerian the dividends of democracy as a result of failure in our democratic process. The politicians have not been able to think beyond self-aggrandizement.
Generally speaking, Nigerians have not made progress since 1960. So 6 decades, what have we done? We still have less than 6,000 megawatts of electricity, saving over 200 million people. Where's the progress? You don't have underground railroad connecting your cities. Where's the progress? Your public transportation system is a mess. Where's the progress? Your education, the output of your education is a mess. Where's the progress? Healthcare there's nothing to be written about. Your president and governors and elites, the slightest of headache, they go abroad. Where's the progress? You're not competing internationally on IT, and you're not producing stuff. We're not talking about people who are just building businesses that are tech related. Most of these things are not even created here. The life of an average Nigerian has not improved. Sadly, you hear people say the good old days in Nigeria. The good old days. No, we shouldn't be saying the good old days. We should be saying better days now.
No, it hasn't. In fact, that is why they keep marginalizing. That is why we see the level of injustice, because people can no longer feed in. And I'm the opinion that even the so-called politicians, what they don't know is that if you are the level that is rich around your neighbor, you are still not rich, you are poor. Because a time will come when they will come for you, because they will have no alternative. And they know that it is their wealth that you are actually leveraging on. And so when you look at the dichotomy, the gap is so much from a politician that we have today and those they are leading. You know, you only see them during campaign. You see them in luxury cars. They change their cars every year, still with taxpayers' money. And all these things makes politics so much lucrative in Africa, such that we have a lot of people venturing into politics who had no antecedent, no other work before that time, and they have no any plan of doing any other thing aside politics. So when you look at that, the people that suffers at the end is the populace, is the people, the ordinary Nigerians who cannot afford education, who cannot afford medical bills. Look at the strike that we have currently, the resident doctors. Look at the currency, Nigeria to dollar. Look at all these things. You go to market, the foodstuffs, food, ordinary food, that should be the commonest thing is hard today. So you and I know that with the level or the trajectory that we are, if nothing is not done quickly, even the so-called politicians who have amassed so much wealth may not be safe. And that's why we are calling, let this be a time of reflection. So by reflection, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's renegotiate. Let's get it right so that we can have a Nigeria we all can be proud of.
It has been 61 years since Nigeria's independence, and as most have expressed dissatisfaction with the nation's trajectory over the course of its growth, some still believe that the nation has experienced tremendous improvement. They explained that while Nigeria has faced countless challenges as a nation, it has remained united all through.
When you look at Nigerian people are united in the grassroots. The disunity we have is mostly political, based on religious, tribal, and ethnic sentiments. But true ordinary Nigerians, they don't know about disunity. What really they care more of is their survival. Go to our markets, you'll see the unity there. Go to our schools, you'll see the unity there. And even when it comes to interest, and that is where the problem is, you'll still see the unity. So to me, Nigerian disunity is superficial.
Others had a contrary opinion.
When you look at the last 60 years, and now we're turning 61, has Nigeria really enjoyed lasting unity? The answer is no. The answer is no. But when you look at it again and say, since 1960, the country has remained Nigeria, you want to say, on paper, you could not have maintained all that if there was no form of unity. So, but when you are an active participant in the Nigerian story, and you've traveled and you've seen, and you're currently witnessing what is happening, of course you'll know that the answer will not just be a direct no or yes, even though I said no at first, is because you can see from everything happening that somehow we have not just really improved on our capacity to be united as a people. And now in 2021, we're seeing greater calls for secession, Biafra and Oduduwa, and it's just a sad reality that after 61 years, this is where we are.
For me, I think it's in two different, I would say from two different directions, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that as of today, we are still as a nation. That is a plus, irrespective of a lot of things that would have divided us. No, in the sense that when you look at a lot of secession agitations, a lot of people feel marginalized, a lot of social injustice, a lot of unsettled matters, you will say that we are not yet there. And that is why I am of the opinion that this should be a time of sober reflection as a nation, and a time where we'll go back to the drawing board, articulate all the people's grievances, all the suggestions, all the things, articulate them together, and be able to chart a new course.
They affirmed that amidst the many challenges the country has faced and is currently facing, Nigerians are better together as a nation than apart.
We'll be much more better. Much more better when you're together. Because there is always, unity in diversity. There is always progress in diversity. Because what you don't have, the other has. Look at it now as it is. Nigeria of about 200 million people, 200 million people for 61 years are living together. Look at the northern part of the country. When you come to the northern part of the country, you go to some areas, you not even know that you are in the northern part of the country. Go to some part of the southern part of the country. When you are in some areas, you not even know that you are not in the southern part of the country. People are doing their businesses. People are living in harmony with each other. But like I've told you, most of the Nigerian crisis is political. What is happening now is largely a political happenings which are superficially concocted by some unscrupulous politicians.
It should be better together. Just like when you bring a broom together, you hardly can break it, rather than when you pick one out of the bunch. But like we said, a lot of things need to be negotiated. And that is what is fueling a lot of clamor and grievances and agitations from different places. And like we know, security is the minimum requirement of any government. And today, it's as serious as contest. A lot of forces are contending for it, for the security of our nation. And that is why it has to be addressed squarely. Because if that is gotten right, then every other things is going to be affected positively. So I would do the part that we are better as a nation, but we need to readjust, we need to renegotiate, we need to look into a lot of things together.
For a country like Nigeria that has some of the most diverse ethnic identities you would ever think of, and the fact that we've been able to somehow manage all of that and created some of the most amazing geniuses the world has ever seen. Of course, there is strength in being together. But when the conversation of staying together is not properly negotiated, or when there are clear-cut injustices, you now begin to ask yourself, should this continue or not? I'm a Nigerian, and I believe that this country can be better, can be bigger, can be greater. To say that will the country be better apart or together, I just think that if we harness our diversity and the power within that diversity, I think we'll be better off together.
They finally added that until the government and citizens rise up to work on the Nigeria project, the future might hold no hope.
Digital First Pan-African News Network. It's been very challenging, doing news in Nigeria as a terrain is very difficult, especially with the kind of stories that we do. DSTV Network, we're more interested in the investigative part, the in-depth analysis, and we also do as much as we can to make sure that we tell the African stories. So we don't really focus on Nigeria, but we do news from south to west, east, north of Africa. So we cover the continent, and sometimes we go out of our band to actually touch stories outside Africa. Congratulations to DSTV Network. Congratulations Chief Osasu Show. And I want to say very big congratulations also to all the staff who have made this happen. You have given your best and you still give your best. And my belief is just that sky is not going to be our limit, it's just going to be our starting point. Happy anniversary.
This is one TV station that brings about innovation and digital technology, and the first ever African TV station that works with young people and use innovative technology to stream their content. I'm excited to see that for just 1 year, the TV station has grown from strength to strength, leading conversation around women participation in politics and influencing policies and decision-making around sexual and gender-based violence. I remember when I was invited by Osasu Show, who is the Chief Executive Officer, for a dialogue first with the former President of Nigeria, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, where we had conversation around political participation of young people, particularly women and people living with disability. I also remember that in the heat of the secessionists, where there were conversation around the Ibom Biafra agitators, Osasu had invited the executive governor of Abia State, Ekpeazu, to come and talk to young people and have a dialogue around peaceful resolution. So for me, TOS TV network is not only documenting grassroots voices and amplifying them. They're also talking about lifestyle, they're talking about opportunities, but most importantly, they bring in policy and decision makers closer to the people that they serve. And I've seen and experienced this firsthand. During the NSAS protest, the chief executive of TOS TV and myself went on the street, where she collected voices of young people, documenting that entire value chain. One, she was trying to connect where the gap is between young people and government. I wish you guys all the best as you celebrate 1 year. I look forward to you all growing from strength to strength. Congratulations, guys, and I look forward to our continuing partnership with TOS TV and my organization, Connected Development.
Wow, TOS Television is one, and we are super excited. I am excited, right? As you know, we come here every day, thinking of how do we make our content better, right? On the conversation, we have 2 segments. The first is Nigeria Now, where we'll talk about top stories, front pages of the newspapers from across the national dailies, of course. We have analysis on the Nigerian newspapers and how they impact the lives of people. The second segment is The Conversation Proper, where we have 2 segments on the That's the Conversation. The first, development across Africa, talk about updates from across Africa, Mali, Ethiopia, and every other African country, English-speaking African countries. And then we have The Big Story. That is a topical program where we bring in people, professionals from various fields, economic, social, political, agricultural, sport, right, to come and talk about topics and how they impact our lives as people. We're very excited to be celebrating our 1 year anniversary at TOS because it has been a very beautiful experience, right, from the content generation to disseminating it to our viewers, right? We're very excited. It has been a roller coaster somewhat, from the beginning, trying to, get stories. How do our people see us? How do they relate to our content? What content do they like? All of those stories. So we come the idea generation, where we have to conceptualize the ideas when it talks about, the big story and how it affects people. So we think about what kind of people can talk about what kind of topics, right? So we frame them, come out and go. And yes, it has been really exciting, people reaching out and, saying, yes, I like what you're doing. I like to be a part of it. We bring in guests from different sectors of the society. You can be a part of the conversation. Your contributions, opinions are needed, right? Just go follow us across all our social media platforms. That is at TOS TV Network, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Be rest assured that whatever you're dropping, we'll definitely talk about them. So yes, let's talk it all.
The dream of TOS TV Network has always been to be a digital-first Pan-African news network, telling the African story the African way. Hi, my name is Sagir Ibrahim and I'm the producer of the Osasu Show here at TOS TV Network. Basically what the Osasu Show stands to gain is to bring societal issues to the front burner, issues that directly affect people and Nigerians in the society, as we know that an issue that touches one definitely touches all. So our function and the role of the Osasu Show is to ensure that we bring top government functionaries, actors in the various industries, captain of industries and the like, to sit in one place, with us to have conversations around finding a solution to this problem, and also to ensure that these problems are brought to a conclusive end. As TOS TV marks its 1 year anniversary, I can only pray that we keep growing from strength to strength, and God provides our CEO, Chief Osasu Igbinedion, the power, the zeal and the motivation to continue in this dream to ensure that it is achieved.
My name is Adesu Elsoyi and I'm the host of Handiwork on TOS Television Network. On Handiwork, I get to put artisans and their craft on full display. In 10 minutes, you get to see all of the technicalities and intricacies involved in such labor. Artisans are an important part of the growing economy, and I show you just that. You think it's easy? Watch Handiwork on TOS Television Network. And yes, TOS Television Network is one, and I want to use the opportunity to appreciate everyone that has been following us through the journey. Thank you for watching, for subscribing, for liking and commenting. Keep watching TOS Television Network.
At TOS Television Network, we strive for balance in our news reportage, and that's why we have TOS News 360. As the name implies, TOS News 360 covers news stories from Nigeria, where we broadcast from Africa and the foreign scene. Being a Pan-African news network, we have a news bulletin called Africa Now that focuses on telling news stories from Africa by Africans to the world. And Africa Now comprises and is not limited to stories on business, entertainment, politics, development, and lots more. We as an organization have achieved this and so much more in the span of 1 year, and we look forward to breaking more boundaries in the years to come. Happy anniversary, TOS TV Network.
North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter.